y'all.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 295 of Consignment Chats. Okay, we need to talk about something that's been living rent-free in my head. I don't know about you guys, but definitely in my head. And that is resellers who list a $2 thrift mug for $40. It's about pricing, y'all. Overpricing, underpricing. Pricing can be such a controversial topic. I know I get heated over some of it. I have my own ideas, and people probably get very heated about how I do it. So today, we're
And I
going
like to
to
heat Molly up over it. Like when she says she gets heated, it's usually me heating her up over it. So this could be a good one.
let's be real. Let's be real. Today, we're going to settle it once and for all. We're going to get it all together. Are you a pricing genius? Are you the reason buyers don't trust our community? Well, that could be me. I don't know. But we've got two sides of this, right? Three hope and zero chill, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's do this.
All right.
Let's start with the overpricing because I think that's a big thing. Overpricing. What does it mean? What are the reasons why people would do it? And what are the pros and cons of overpricing?
I want to start with perceived value, right? Like I think we've all done this at some point as we had something priced low. It's not really getting any traction. It's not getting any offers. It's not, it's just kind of a dud at this really low price. And you're like, why isn't somebody picking up this awesome item at a really low price? And we jack up the price and all of a sudden it has interest in itself. So there's that perceived value from the customer. And this is not that common. I don't think it's that common of a scenario, but that perceived value, like you don't want to cheapen your store, your item. And somebody's like, oh, well, that's only like, $10. Like that's not a good one. They go and they grab the one for 20. What the heck?
I have seen this, especially for higher end stuff where somebody will say, well, I saw that everybody, had it for $100, but I wanted to sell it fast. So I listed it for 40 and it hasn't sold. And I immediately think if I'm looking for something, an average price is $100 and I see one for 40 or 50, I think there's something wrong with it. Yeah. So that's part of that part with the perceived value.
Hey y'all, welcome to Consignment Chats, reselling tips, mindset, and real life. Hit subscribe and let's grow together.
But some reason that you may overprice something is so that when you discount it, then it seems like it's a really good deal because now it's on sale.
Yeah. I'm an overpricer. Hi, I'm Molly, and I'm an overpricer. Hi, I'm Molly. I'm an overpricer. And I overprice for those very reasons. One is I know that we always run. Libby has sales going in our store daily. I don't know what she's putting on sale when. I could know if I wanted to look. I don't care. I know she does them in our store. I know something's going to be on sale. I can list something. I can list Cutco knives for $600, and right after it goes live, pull up the listing, look at it, and all of a sudden it's $495, and I'm like, wait a minute,
right?
Libby's running a sale on that category. So I always take that into account, that there's going to be a 10% to a 20%, sometimes maybe even more percent.
Yeah,
sale.
I only go up to 20%. On the sales.
But there's always going to be some kind of sale going on. But not only the sales, y'all, people offer. We put offers allowed on everything we list because it brings interaction with the buyer. It's a good thing to do, and we enjoy doing it. I'm still trying to work on Nick. Nick still gets bent out of shape with lowball offers. I'm really trying to tell him just get over it, and either A, if you feel so needed to decline it, just decline it. But I really think you should counter the offer with what you're willing to do in your mind on that. And don't get emotional. Don't get emotional. I put offers on things, and it's a starting point. Usually it's a starting point. Let me see, are they willing to go this low? But I'm going to offer here, but I'm willing to go here. It's just like when we as resellers are out thrifting at a yard sale, if we're garage sale and a estate sale, and you're always going to offer a little lower in hopes to meet where it is that you're willing to pay the price you can pay in order to make profit off of that item. Well, they're not buying for profit, but everybody buying on eBay, Poshmark, any of these platforms that take offers, of course we want a deal. Everybody loves a deal. So that's why I price everything up, taking into consideration that. And used to be free shipping. Now it's a flat rate of $4 shipping. So I'm always going to be giving some shipping because everything that ships now is over $4. So some of that money is going to go, some of my earnings is going to go to shipping fees. So that's why I do it.
Yeah, it's like an overcompensation thing. I've had a lot of people, especially when I explain that I list for a price on eBay and then I up it by 20% on Etsy and Poshmark. And Nifty has those rules built right in. I can just say whatever I set the price at, this is what it automatically put it up 20% for these platforms. And so use code chats if you want to try Nifty. But that is to help offset. It's not because I'm price gouging and going nuts. It's because Poshmark takes 20% in fees, and then everybody sends offers. And like, I may not be running sales over there, but my average Poshmark, I think it says on your dashboard, like average discount is like 57% or something off of the price I actually list it for. So I'm definitely not making an extra 20% over there. Now, Etsy, on the other hand, I'm charging a higher price, but there's a higher clientele as well. So to know, I feel like a point for the overpricing as well could be to know your audience. When you have rare items or hyped up things that are like going viral, like that cookie jar that I sold a few months ago, or things like that, and then knowing your audience, I can charge more on Etsy. They'll pay it.
Yeah. I always think about, whenever we're having this conversation, I always think about JCPenney. Do you remember, like, years ago, new CEO, and they stopped any discounts, right? They just put everything at the bottom price, and there were no coupons, there were no discounts. And to me, I thought, wow, that's really appealing. I hate coupons. I hate looking for sales. I hate to shop. Wow, this is awesome. It tanked with the consumers. It was an absolute flipping disaster. So I always think about
wants
that when
those paper coupons. She wanted that deal. That's
everybody wants to feel like you're getting a deal, you know? I mean, it's just a good feeling to feel like you're getting a deal. It's part of the hype of shopping, whether you're thrifting or shopping for yourself. It feels good.
Oh, it's on sale. I mean, I just have to always remind myself of that story, because I am not the ideal customer right here. Like, I don't just give me the lowest price. I'm not
I was fine with $3 t-shirts. Right.
Yeah.
I want to, one of the things that a lot of people will say is listing your things higher will keep the lowballers away, the lowball offers. I'm still going to go with no. I don't agree with that. I don't think it does, because I still get crazy lowball offers on things that are priced high. I don't agree. I think somebody who is a lowballer, and they just don't care what you have it priced at. They're going to offer what they are going to offer.
So I feel like, especially like my $20, $25 and under items, that's when I get like the super lowball stuff. But my higher priced items, now that's not saying they're overpriced, but just the higher price range, I don't get as many, unless there are lots of things that I will overprice because I am unsure of its true value. And then I will get a wide range of offers. But that's not necessarily lowballers either. That's because I don't know what the heck I have. So I'm not even sure what the market is. And I woe up on that and kind of just wait to see what trickles in of like, okay, most of these people are offering like 40 or 50. So instead of a $90 item, maybe this is like a $60 item. Like, let's counter these offers. And
Yeah, and I like that you're bringing
go
that up.
lower. Like, you can always go lower with your price. It's much harder to do the reverse of that and go higher. Like, if you have that, like, this can be a strategy. If you don't know, I use it like very often for if I have something that's one of a kind or high end, I will jack that price up. And you know what? The buyers will tell me. They'll send offers. Like, I'll get a sense for what the actual value of the item is. So I'm a believer with stuff like that you start high.
Yes. If you're not sure, or it's a super wide range, start at the top of that range, and you can always lower it. Whether you lower it in a week or a month or a year or whatever, you can still lower it. You can never get more.
Okay, I got a question that I want, because it's a perfect place to pop this in. For those listening that I haven't really done this strategy before, they put their item up, they put it up for $600. Their offers are coming in about $400. What is the best way, algorithm listing wise, to lower that for those that are watchers or viewers of that item?
On eBay?
On eBay, yes. Talking eBay, what is the best way to lower that?
I would keep the like the price the same. And I would actually, if it's something that has a lot of interest, I would send it to auction at that lowest, at like whatever people are offering. Like, I would start an auction at 400 and I'd send it to auction, because it retains and sends those people messages when you send something to auction. So that is the strategy I would use, and start at that lower price, because you have a lot of interest. I also will not take the first offer. Right. I let it sit for 24 hours, like almost 24 hours, just to see what else comes in.
Yeah. Make sure you're waiting. You can counter the offers if you like. But when Libby says send to auction, literally right in your seller hub or right in your eBay where you have your listings, it's one of your edit choices. You can select that item, and when you click the edit button, there's a drop down, and there is literally like a change to auction or something like that in there, and then that is what will retain and tell your watchers and the people that have been viewing it that it is now available on auction at a lower price. So just so you know that.
What is the other option if I want to lower that price and I don't want
Molly's like, that's not what I was looking for. No,
that is what I'm looking for. But I'm trying to have, I'm trying to break it down for newbies, like your different options and why they're good or bad. So auction, you don't want to do an auction. What's the next option?
Sale.
You could definitely put it on sale. Now, if you're getting a lot of offers, honestly, I wouldn't touch it. Like, if you're getting offers, you can, like I said, you can go back and forth with those people, or you can just wait a little bit longer. I generally find that if multiple people are sending offers, then somebody is going to buy it for full price if they're reasonably close. So I wouldn't touch it. But if you have a lot of views or maybe a lot of messages about the item, but nobody's really offering, nobody's really biting, then definitely put it on a sale, like even just 10% off kind of thing. Mark it down for, I usually do like a 4-day sale, just to give it some stuff, because it'll tell everybody, hey, this item is on sale. And then also, when there's only a couple days left of the sale, it will tell everybody, hey, this sale is ending soon. And that will help spark it as well.
Now, Libby has some good advice on sales length that you had shared with me that I hadn't known before, talking about how long to put an item on sale.
Yeah, so this is from the eBay Growth Advisor that I had met with over the course of a couple months. And he said, make sure when you run a sale, you don't want it too long, right? Because like you want people to feel that urgency. And if you do this strategy, you will see it in play. But you want it to run over 2 weekends. That allows it enough time to get into the algorithm. A lot of people shop on the weekend or browsing, and you want it to run like at least through 2 weekends to give people an opportunity, but you don't want it much longer than that 14, 16-day period. Yeah. Because at the end of that sale, I mean, you do see, I can see this very clearly. People grab it real quick because it'll say sale is ending in, 6 hours, and there's that sense of urgency there. So, I mean, that has been great advice that has really served us well in our store.
Yeah. So my chat GPT and I had a business meeting last week. I don't use the GPT a ton. I know it was shocking to all of us, mostly me. But I usually do the 10-day 2-weekend sales, unless it's like the one item, then that's when I'll do like the 4 or 5 day sales. But I was getting ready to go and schedule out my next several sales because I do it like a month at a time. And I thought, let's ask the GPT what the best types of sales, because eBay's always releasing new features, having different strategies and algorithms within themselves anyways. So I figured, let's ask the GPT. It had me set up volume pricing tiers. So I have like a tier that's at, if you buy 2 or more items, you get like 10% off, and then 20. I don't even remember what the percentages are, but I had volume. I put in, like, I downloaded all of my active listings from eBay and uploaded them into ChatGPT, and it told me exactly which SKUs to copy and put into each promotion that I was creating. And then I also like to have a 40% off sale going for my consignment, the stuff that's like at the end of its consignment period. So I give it like one last chance. And so, it said still do that as well, and then it told me which items based on the criteria or whatever, and so I put that in there. And it's only been a week. I'm not. It's been a pretty slow week. I don't know if that's because we are in the thick of summer and right before school, or if because GPT's strategy sucks. I'm not really sure. But
it is a tough time because you're saying right before school. There's actually a lot of schools that have already started in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so there's just a lot of crazy right now.
Yeah. So it told me to run them for a month, is why I'm bringing this up though. So which I was not sure about, but if I'm going to go with the experiment, I'm doing exactly as it told me to do, which was very easy instructions. It like had a whole like CSV file and all crazy stuff, but it said a month. So I'm doing a month.
All right.
Okay.
Well, there's something we can get an update on in the future. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up overpricing thoughts on just a few more thoughts before we go to the against overpricing. I'm going to talk about the for overpricing.
Yeah.
I think things you have to take into account is that you have to be willing, if you're overpricing, to wait for that right buyer. That means that you are going to be possibly sitting on inventory a little longer. This is not your quick flip typically, unless it is that rare item that there are a lot of collectors out there. But when you're overpricing, I think in most cases, that means you're willing to sit on that item for a little longer while you wait for the right buyer versus the quick flip. And I have always been willing to sit on the item, although my house lately, I'm feeling a little less willing to sit. I might be changing as I move forward.
I know.
But I've never been in a rush to sell my stuff just to get it out the door. If I were in a big rush, I think I would move to a platform like Whatnot, where that's a perfect platform to bring in and get stuff out for the quick lower number flip, lower value flip. But that's not how I list, but stay tuned. Things may be changing here because this house is going to sink soon if it brings in.
Oh my God. I've been thinking of the same, like maybe I do need to be a Whatnot seller. I don't know.
Get it out, because I keep bringing in and I gotta get it out. Yeah, but those are things to think about. Something else to think about if you are gonna, structure the overpriced thoughts is that is, there's different mindsets there. And mine could be changing a little.
And, I think it goes without saying, but I'm going to go ahead and say it depends on the type of items. Like if you are selling commodity items, like I'm just going to use phone cases, for example. Like if you are selling that, overpricing it, I do not believe in any way, shape, or form is a strategy. We are talking mostly about, collectibles and I mean, even clothing we're talking about. But like if it's a commodity item, don't listen to anything we just said about overpricing, please.
Don't overprice your bread and butter clothing. You know, I think overpricing the luxury clothing that you find or the higher end, not even necessarily luxury clothing, but the higher end brands that are hot at that time. Yeah, you can play that game some with those, but I think you also have to keep in mind with clothing, it's trendy, so be
Yeah.
careful. Be careful because trends come
Right?
and go real
How
quick
many
in the clothing world.
How many pairs of skinny jeans do we still have in our inventory right now? I mean, come on.
Correct.
Come on.
Correct. Nick picked up a pair of skinny jeans the other day when we were sourcing, and it was a phenomenal brand. And I said, well, skinny jeans are really not the thing, but however, at that price, go ahead and grab them because skinny jeans will come back. And
They
jeans
will.
are easy
And
to
there
store.
are still those people out there that don't really care about the trends. And they'll wear skinny jeans and have no problem with it.
I'm trying to get rid of all my skinny jeans and my leggings, but I just can't do it. I can't do it. So another thing. All right. Also, things that you can bundle. This wasn't supposed to be a whole episode about like you should overprice everything, but I do like to do it. And I should say that I switched when I first started doing this stuff. I was not an overpricer. I was a scared pricer, and I was like, I wasn't confident in what I was doing. I wasn't confident in my comps. I wasn't confident in my items. I just wasn't confident enough to say, yes, this is worth $50. Yes, this is worth. But now I'm more confident, and my friend Dawn has really like hammered it into my head that I need to list things higher and better. So these are silk swing ribbons from the 1970s. They're hard to see in the packages. I have like 18 packages like this. There's 50 plus in each one, about 60 in each one. But I have them listed as a multi-quantity listing that you get a mixed 50 plus of ribbons. And I have them listed for $99 per package.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I'm willing to take offers. I know this is like a true, like I overpriced this. Comps, there were some comps that justified this, but there's like a lot of comps that don't. However, I have so many that if somebody makes me a bundle deal, I'm going to give them a higher discount too. And like that kind of stuff. Like there's room for negotiation, and I'm willing to just have a bin of these ribbons that I didn't pay very much for. So
yeah, they're not taking up a lot of space in your storage for sure.
I love what you just said, Samantha, about like having the confidence to like price it high, because that is something we have seen over and over again with new resellers. Well, yeah, I just don't want to, or I'm afraid. We hear a lot of afraid. I'm afraid it will sit. Well, you can knock that price. You can knock that price down like after a month if you're not happy with the results. But like, yeah, I think confidence in your ability and not really saying, oh, I can't believe you listening to somebody. I can't believe you priced it for that. Well, I'm going to try to do the best I can for if I'm selling it for myself, if I'm selling it for a consignor, and can change it. But
do you know what else is a fantastic sentence though? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you sold that for so much.
Yeah.
If I had listened to some certain people in a certain group that said, you can't list that quilt for that much, that's crazy. You should list it for this much. I never would have sold my $2,000 quilt on Etsy. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. Quick, go ahead. I have a question before we move on to the against the overpricing part.
I was actually going to move on, so ask your question.
Right. keep your move on. And I just, when we're talking about comping items, I just want to talk about new seller versus like established store when you comp. So when I comp something, and I'm talking about collectibles here, which is a different category than basic items, right? But if I'm comping a collectible, I do make sure I look at the highest sale item, sorting it that way first, and then checking out those stores. Are they top rated sellers? And I don't spend a lot of time. I just do a quick look at who sold this, what's their feedback, how long have they been in existence? Because is their store existence, is it comparable to our store? Right. So I want to price based on established stores, power seller level stores that are comparable to our store, not a first-time seller who just listed something out of their closet.
Good point.
I like that you said out of their closet, because sometimes we're wondering where they pulled it from, really. I mean,
well, that's what we tell everybody to start in your own closet. So I wanted to, I wanted to be consistent with, you had to, if you listen to us and you start selling in your own closet, that's where that item came from. Just saying.
So yeah, that's, I had my thought and now it's gone.
I interrupted
just
her,
thinking about people in their closets now. Well, I was on top of that. Okay, we'll segue into the cons for overpricing. Buyers, people are afraid with all the social media and the TikToks and the Facebook groups and all this stuff, that even friends of mine that aren't resellers have said, oh, well, I had this eBay group show up in my feed and they were making fun of da 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 da. People are scared that buyers and or other sellers are going to see their item and maybe screenshot it and make fun of it, or that they're going to get messages teasing them about their prices, or, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And I think that just plays into the confidence thing. Like, I can definitely see where it would scare someone away from overpricing, especially if they're in groups like that or they have buyers like that. First of all, leave those groups. You don't want to be a part of that group. That sounds terrible. Second of all, just the more confidence you have in the fact that you have a good item and that you want a fair price for it, that's really key there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna start I'm gonna try to get on one of those groups. I'm gonna be wearing my skinny jeans in the photo. I'm gonna be like overpricing like crazy. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So
go ahead.
The next point would be that stale listings get buried in the algorithm. So we said, if you're willing to sit on it, it's fine. But then how do we feel like about something that has been sitting there at that higher price? We run sales and do stuff like that, but what are the other factors in there about like the algorithm or stale items? Like, how can people help that?
Yeah, I think the occasional I'm going through and revising like older items right now that are, 10 plus years on eBay or 10 years on eBay. And yeah, just like kind of like taking the listing down, revising it to be, more in line with what eBay wants to see. And I think that's a really good option. I don't think doing it after a month is a great idea. Yes, Molly.
I'm a new reseller. What do you mean revise that listing? I don't understand.
Oh.
What would you do?
Well, maybe add some new keywords. Check out if you have any missing item specifics. Look at your photos, because some of our photos from 10 years ago are really horrible.
They're horrific.
So that's where I jump in and say, if you're a new reseller, do not freaking worry about revising your listings.
Thank you.
You should not be doing delist, relist. You should not be like in 2 years, you'll look back and you'll say, oh my God, I can't believe I took all my photos on my bathroom floor. What was I doing? And you will change them. You will update them. You will do whatever. But for right now, just list. Work on your listing process. Work on getting new stuff up and gaining the confidence in what you have already. Okay, sorry.
And it's not stale after a month. Let's just
not stale after a month. It takes a month or two just to like go out into the universe.
And that old stuff still sells.
Oh my gosh, it still sells.
I mean, we consistently have items that are 10 years old sell, like with no revision, no nothing on eBay. So
it does.
Don't put too much, especially if you're new, don't put too much time and energy into that right now. Build your eBay store, build your listings, get a process, get a flow. Don't worry about stale.
Yes.
No, I agree.
All right.
I agree.
What about the con that says that when we price things high, when Samantha lists all these ribbons for $99 per 50, it's making other resellers look bad. It's making the reseller community look greedy and look bad.
I think that's caca.
There we go.
That's all we need to say.
That's all I gotta say. That's just caca.
Yep.
That's not a thing. Like, you know what to me makes the reseller community look greedy is the story I heard from my friend Carrie that resellers go to a church rummage sale that's by donation for charity, and they fill a bag and give $2 for that bag full of items. That makes resellers look greedy. That makes resellers look greedy. I don't ever judge how a reseller prices their items like that because, number one, you don't even know what they're doing with the money they made. Like, you don't know what work they put into it. You don't know. Libby, Conchi Consignment, we have double digits, 30, 40 charities that are given to by things that sell. A lot of the items that are sold in our store, a large portion of that is going to charity. We don't do it through eBay charity. We have charity accounts. So I don't ever judge the way other people sell because I don't know what they're doing with their income. Maybe that's the only way they can put food on their table. And if they can make an extra $5 and get some good protein for the kids, have at it. Have at it. I don't, to me, how you price your items and sell your items, I don't think of that as greed at all, because my hope is you're intelligent enough that you've done your due diligence, you've comped those items, you're confident in your listings, and you know what you're doing, and you're trying to do the best that you can for that item. If you're in a consignment part of the business, then you're trying to do the best for your consignor that you can.
Yes.
And that is a contracted agreement that you have had with that consignor that you are going to do the best you can for them to make money for them. So there's so many ways to look at it that I would never judge a single business because I don't know how they run their business and what they're doing.
Yeah. And a rising tide lifts all boats. If somebody sees Samantha putting those ribbons up and they undercut her for, like, you know, let's say they're going to put it up for $5. All right.
Yeah.
Samantha, if they put it up for $5, Samantha, are you going to go change your listing to $5?
No, I'm going to buy theirs and list them for $99.
Why did you just went up by 3 items?
Right? So,
and I revised my listing so it's fresh.
In line. Yes, there we go. It's a win-win. And it's a win-win-win because that person only wanted $5. They got their $5 and everybody is winning. So this goes along with it skews the market value for everybody selling similar stuff. And I don't believe that, because if it's truly too overpriced and there's way more selling for less, then my item's just not going to sell for that price. And that's fine. I will revise it. I will lower it. I will put it on sale, and it will eventually get down to wherever the market is. However, if there's only 3 for sale, 2 of them are, you know, one's at 20, one's at 50, and mine's at 100. They can sell theirs first. That's fine. And then I'll eventually sell mine for probably an offer for like $70 or something. And boom, there we go. And now the market is up. We want the markets to trend up, not trend down.
And then we're all saying, thank you, Samantha. We appreciate you doing that for the rest of us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I mean, we can't like wrap this up without just talking about, like, sometimes it makes no sense, right? Like Molly and I, because we share a store on eBay, it is the same store. We will have the same item. Of course, mine will be priced about half of what Molly prices hers. Let's say it's a pair of sneakers. She's selling them for same size, same style, same everything. She's selling hers for, you know, $70. I'm selling mine for $35. How many times has your $70 exact same item sold first?
Yep.
A lot.
And I tell them,
yeah, because there's probably something wrong with yours.
Yours, right? You underpriced it. So there must be dog poo on the sole of that shoe with it underpriced like that. You didn't scrub that poo off. Yeah, it happens all the time. And Nick's like, we had a bunch of shirts. I can't remember if they were Travis Matthews or Peter Millar, maybe Peter Millar. And Nick had listed these shirts. And then the next week, Libby gets some in on consignment and lists them. And they're like $20 less than the 4 we just listed. Mm-hmm. And Nick's like, oh my gosh, what is Libby doing? It's shooting us in the foot. What is she doing? And I'm like, honey, it never shoots us in the foot. Like, why are you worried?
Right.
Why are you?
Right.
And sure enough, y'all, literally in that same week, Libby sold one of hers, not to the same customers, but they sold.
Yeah.
Like,
and you have the same eBay store. That is
in
like
the same store.
That is
Correct.
like the ultimate experiment with this whole thing is like
Right.
it's okay. It's not just a platform. It's the same store.
Our Effie bells. I go on
Effie
cruises and I get Effie bells, these little collectible bells that the jewelry store gives away. And that's been my thing for the past 2 years is go get the free bells every time they offer them. And then I list them and I sell them. I sell them for we list them for like $29 a bell. They're little bag charm things. And Libby goes on this cruise with me and she comes back and we collect the Effie bells. She's all excited to get hers. And Nick looks and Libby's listed hers for like $10, $12 less than ours are in the store already. And he's all upset. Libby's like, I thought that I did. I was like, no, they're less. Didn't matter. We've sold out of all of ours.
Yep.
Right.
Everybody all
Sold out of
gone.
all.
Yeah.
Yep. It doesn't matter.
So we have a whole wrap up here about the middle ground, but I think it's obvious that we're all kind of fall in the middle of this. We're more pro to overpricing, but the real thing is being confident in what you have and in your business style. If your business style is to be a volume lister and price things a little lower than everybody else, that's fine. Just be confident in that and make sure you're getting your freaking listings up. And then if you're more into the higher end and the letting things sit for a while and getting that big price, that's great. Just be confident in that and be able to adjust as you need to.
Well, there went my outro.
She just did it. No, you're gone for a week. She's taken over. This is incredible.
Totes did the outro. I just want y'all to remember that overpriced is not a thing. It's just called confident pricing. That's all.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
That's what it is. Overpricing. No, it's confident pricing. All right. Well, thanks for the closing there, Samantha. Until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here with us on Consignment Chat. Find everything we do at consignmentchats.com and stay connected with us by subscribing wherever you listen or watch. We'll see you next time.